Hello my lovelies, welcome to Zingerman's Coleman Farms. My name is Chef Kieron Hales. I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favourite cookbooks. I think I'm on book 12. We went for a baker's dozen in the end. Today we're going to be talking about some of the nicest people in our industry, the Roux brothers, so Michel and Albert Roux. This wasn't actually my cookbook, as you might have got through the trend of this. Some of these were my mum's cookbooks back in the day. This actually comes from their time at the Gavroche and the Waterside Inn. My mother had eaten of both of them, which was pretty fancy back in the day to be able to. The book's from the 1980s. I think it's still in print and you can still pick it up. This is real 1980s French classical cuisine presented in a way that's quite approachable. For the home cook, my mother would often cook from this cookbook. It was really inspiring to eat some of the dishes she made from it. From Michel and Albert Roux, they're actually part of the Royal Academy of Culinary Arts. So I got to meet Albert Roux a couple of different times at Royal Academy events. This cookbook definitely stays very heavily into French classical cuisine. It has beautiful works of aspect and terrine works in there that have fallen to the wayside right now. I promise they will come back. Everything in our industry kind of rolls around and comes back to us. I think we'll start to see the re-emergence of some of that work soon. For us here at the farm, we do make a lot of pork force meats or terrines, and so one of the things we make is English pork pies. But I often remember my mum stretching her skills on a regular basis to make the recipe that's on, let's have a look, page 84. And so this is a terrine of rabbits, hazelnuts, and pistachios. This is super fancy, right? Sounds like something your mum wouldn't necessarily make you for a Sunday lunch, but being able to use up those scraps of pork or chicken or a local rabbit, grew up in the countryside, and then turn it into a terrine that you can keep for 2, maybe 3 weeks. It is something quite magical. I equate it to like being a baker who takes, water, flour, salt and yeast and brings it together to make bread. We're taking these disparately not inspiring cuts of meat and turning them into something quite magical. There's lots of recipes in here. It definitely leans back into their Gavroche days, the Waterside Inn recipes. The terrine recipe is really simple. What's super lovely, I know you might not be able to see it on the screen, but there's some lovely simple photography from the 1980s in here of how to line things. Back then when I first started in the industry, there wasn't a lot of YouTube videos or really easy to explain photography of what to do. I think these guys were some of the first to be able to document that well enough into recipes. Very inspiring way to write a cookbook that's trying to get people to be able to do it. Michel and Albert Roux have wonderful cookbooks. We have lots of them here. We've got their source cookbooks, which I often will buy for some of our new chefs that start with us. It's a real good insight into the whys and the whats behind the foods. Yeah, I would totally pick up the new classical cuisine by the Roux brothers. It might not be so new right now, but it will be again in a few years. Let's get to the next cookbook.